Dr. Elaine Richardson. Dr. E, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing good. I am just so blessed to be here with you and so grateful.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate your time. We don't have a lot of it because you got a lot going on. You have a conference coming up this weekend.
I
Now, we're,
do.
we're long overdue for like a whole deep dive into your life, your illustrious life and career. We're going to come back and do that. So just this is a
That'll be
tease for them.
dope.
You're long
Oh,
overdue.
thank
And I haven't
you.
seen you in person in a couple years. So I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
I
Um,
know. I'm so
yeah.
glad you coming.
That's right. So let's tell the people where I'm coming to and why I'm coming up to the Ohio State University, where my daddy used to teach, by the way, back in
Really?
in the late '60s. Yeah,
I
my
think you
daddy,
told me that.
yeah, sociology professor. He taught up there for a few years. Yeah. So what's
Wow.
happening there? What's this thing that you're doing that you've been doing for a long time? That's happening this weekend.
Well, we are having the 10th Hip Hop
Oh,
Literacies Conference. We've been doing it since 2011.
right.
So we've been in existence 14 years, but this will be our 10th conference. As you know,
Mm,
COVID messed up some years and
yeah,
some different things happened. So this is our 10th year.
it's a blessing. 10 years.
And I'm so excited because we're doing hip hop feminism this year. That's our theme. Hip hop feminism, justice,
Yeah,
care. And I'm just excited
yeah.
because, you know, I'm paying homage to Dr. Cathy Cohen, who had the first Hip Hop and Feminism conference
Mm,
in 2000, was it
mm,
2005 at the University
mm.
of Chicago with
Okay.
the Black Youth Project. And that was a great experience to have all those bad sisters, Trisha Rose, Joan Morgan. I think
For
that was the
sure.
first time I met Treva at that conference, Treva Lindsay.
Mm,
I want to think, all the heavy, Joan,
right.
Brittany, everybody, it was
Right.
just so many beautiful, brilliant women that I met at that conference. And,
Right.
some of them people, wow, they're so humongous now,
Yeah.
humongous. And I'm just so proud of, what a lot of people have been doing with their brilliance.
Yeah, indeed. You've done this conference. It's the 10th one. It used to be in New York. You had it in New York a couple times, I think, right? And then,
We had it in New York because Carmen, uh, good God, oh, why I can't call Carmen Kennard, my good
okay.
friend, Dr. Carmen Kennard,
Yes.
and Dr. Crystal
Yep.
Lay Inslee
Yep.
Taylor. They were
Yep.
professors at John Jay.
That's right.
And they were like, they blessed me that year. They was like, E, you've been doing this and doing this. Let us take it this year. And
Yeah.
so they just took it and organized it and did everything and just let me
Yeah.
come to the conference and enjoy it.
You got to be a
Because I,
fan. You got to be a
you
fan.
know, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful to just not be organized in the conference and just go to it and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful that
That
time
was
we
my
did.
first one. I mentioned that because that was my first one. I was in New York at the time. Uh,
Wow.
I did come to one of them at Ohio State. I presented a few years ago, and I thank you for that
Right.
opportunity.
You
That's right.
did hip hop advocacy and social justice. I
That's
remember
right.
that.
That's right.
I think was that in 2019 or 2017 or
Ooh, all
something
the
like that.
years get all jumbled now. I
Yeah,
couldn't
they
even tell
started
you.
jumping.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But I
Oh.
enjoyed it, and I always enjoy this particular I enjoy all the conferences. Obviously, there's a few of folks who are doing this sort of thing. Why hip hop literacies? Like, what's the core kind of DNA of the conference? In its soul, and then why? And you mentioned you touched on it a little bit, but then why this theme this year? Those two things.
So I knew a long time ago that it was very important to study hip hop.
Yeah.
Because I'm an OG. I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
And I'm R&B soul person.
Right.
Basically, I respect hip hop, listen to a lot of it,
Yeah.
but it's only certain artists that I'm going to listen to because
Right.
of who I am. You know what I mean? But I know
Understood.
it's important to listen to
Right.
all of the artists because this is what my students are listening to. This is what my children's children are listening to. And,
Yeah.
this is what's happening in the community. And
Yeah.
so I knew hip hop was important. And so I started teaching them. I was trained as a linguist. applied linguistics and English. And
Mm,
when I first started dealing with hip hop, I was asking my students to bring in songs that they listen to, and let's look at the lyrics and let's look at the linguistics of it.
right.
And at the time, I was trained mostly to look at the structure of the language.
Okay.
And my students, they didn't want to talk about that. They wanted to talk about what's going on in the culture. And it
Right.
made me really get into looking at hip hop from a more broader perspective so
Okay.
that you can understand the power dynamics of what is happening with the youth, with
Yeah.
what's going on in society with hip hop, what's
Right.
going on culturally with hip hop, what's going on artistically. They wanted to look at bigger things, and it made me grow. It made me
Yeah.
start looking at hip hop differently.
Yeah.
And so that was that was my second book. I wrote a book called Hip Hop Literacies,
That's right.
and I learned so much just listening to the music, and at that time, the whole world loves it
Okay.
when you. My boys, Stank on
Outcast.
you.
Yeah. Outcast.
Outcast, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did, a study on them and what
Yeah.
they were doing in their video and with their music and them being from the South and how
Right.
they were flipping these stereotypes upside down and
Yeah.
critiquing people who thought the South was slow.
Right. Right.
So I just loved them when I first heard. I'm like, they bad.
Yeah. Well,
So I did.
I'm from New York, so we were one of those, we were the ones saying the South was slow. But then Outkast came, they broke through, and we were like, wait a minute, the South do got something to say.
They
Like
do.
I was like, all right, and
They
then we started paying attention.
do.
Yeah.
And I
But to be
always
fair, they
loved
were doing it
Little
before them.
Kim.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
that again.
I said they were doing it before, like the South was doing it, but we didn't quite get it because of the linguistic difference between, the whole kind of vibe is a different thing. But once we started paying attention, there was a whole lot being said that we needed to pay
Yes.
attention to also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really loved Little Kim. I loved
Hmm.
what she was doing. Um, and I took an issue with, how she went to jail and stuff. And I looked at all of that. That was like a chapter in my book.
Yep.
And I looked at what um, just young people in the community, because I've always done like after school programming. So
Okay.
young people in the community, what they were saying about hip hop and how it was shaping, and it's not just hip hop, how
Right.
American cultural values,
Right.
are entangled within hip hop. And
Right.
so, we were talking about authenticity a lot back then.
Mm.
And like we were questioning all that. What do you mean by authenticity? Because we're always entangled. We're
Mm.
kind of entangled in these different discourses because we might be whatever we are, but we're still having to live and deal in a society that we have to negotiate.
Yeah.
And so
A lot of that comes out through the music and the
it
culture, and
comes out in
it's
the
a way to,
music.
yeah, and it's a way to interrogate it.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
love it because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And just, I learn from the students. I
Yeah.
definitely learn from the students, them telling me what they're listening to and, what it means to them. I
Right.
love Kendrick Lamar.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. What he did at
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, that was so
Well,
dope.
yeah. And
I
again, it
love Doechii.
sparks all kind of Doechie's great, all kind of conversations, because these are the things that they're listening to. We can listen to. We can meet them where they are, and it's all great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It
love it.
was, and I love it.
It's been a good run. We're having a
I
good run.
love how the music can make us feel each other and make us feel in community, because we can get mad at each other. We can say, I'm mad as hell at Snoop Dogg for this shit, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
But at the
No,
same time, you can listen to one of his songs and be like, that's why I love. That's why, that's my. But he,
it's like family.
he made some bad choices here lately. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But you can hear those old songs, Gin and Juice and whatnot, and all them old songs. And
Yeah.
but,
Well, not you, Snoop. Yeah, I get it.
I
Again,
know.
it's a conversation. It's a way to communicate about these issues in a way that everyone can relate to, because everyone can, like,
Yeah,
understands that analogy or that connection, right?
right.
So this year, feminisms, hip hop feminisms, and of course, it's Women's History Month. It's a perfect time, to do it.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know, so tell me, and I don't want to hold you too long. I know we got a little bit of time left. Tell me what that meant to you to like make that the theme. Maybe I don't know who decides the theme. Is it just you or like a panel? But like, why that theme, and what is that looking like this year?
You know what Treva Lindsay reminded me?
Okay.
Because Treva and I have been collaborating on this conference ever since she came to OSU.
Okay.
And maybe even a little bit before she came to OSU. But she always had my back, and I've learned so much from her and some of my other Black feminists and hip hop feminists and queer Black women feminist friends.
Yeah.
She told me, she was like, the next conference you should do hip hop feminism and really do like a tribute kind of to Cathy Cohen from doing the first conference, because it'll be a 20-year anniversary.
Right. This isn't new. Hip hop feminism isn't
No,
new. It's not a new concept.
It's not
right,
new.
Right.
It's not
right.
new. It's not
Right.
new. But Joan Morgan, of course, is
Of
the person who coined the term.
That's right. I got a book right up there.
Yeah.
Little corner of it. Yeah.
Yes, that's my queen.
Yeah.
But she really hit it on the head, because a lot of stuff that she said is still relevant about the gray areas, in like how we were talking about how you got to negotiate, because none of us are all of anything. We are both and sometimes, and all of that.
Right.
So just that the negotiation of life and how things are never black and white, that they're gray. The grayness, how she was saying, this is a feminism that F's with the grays.
Right.
And,
the nuance.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And there have been so many people who have, grown from her, talking about it and theorizing it. And, like we got all kind of different feminisms, hip hop feminisms.
Yeah.
Dirty South. Hip hop feminism, Black queer feminism, hip hop feminism. It's, for all the many people there are there, that many hip hop feminisms.
Yeah.
And
spectrum.
they're all trying to humanize, different, people.
Yeah. Lived experiences and
lived experiences. There you go.
Yeah, that's what's up. So we're going to see a slew of folks talking and presenting about these things. Anything stand out, or just, tell people to go see it all? Anything you want to like
Come
highlight?
And see it all. Come and see it all. But definitely, I want people to definitely come to the opening panel. Yeah. That is Lauren Kara and Heidi Lewis. It's gonna be a dope panel. It's moderated by Treva. Dr. Treva Lindsay.
Yeah.
Heidi has a new book out on mumble rap, and so she's going to be talking about masculinity and gender and whatnot, and hip hop feminism and that.
I just got the pitch for that book like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Oh, I know where you're going to be. I know." So I'm very excited because I like that. I like that angle. It's very it's dope. I'm looking forward to her hearing that, as well as everybody else. But yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
There's so many good people. I can't name them all. Dr. Lauren Lake Kelly.
I was about to say my good friend. That's my good friend.
Yeah, that's right. Because y'all East Coast people, y'all stick together. I know that.
I work with her Hip Hop Youth and Research and Activism Conference, and I do work with her. Yeah,
she's giving a workshop. I believe it's on hip hop pedagogy, grades 7 through 12, and that's one of her new books.
Yep.
She also has another.
You got
everybody's stuff back there. You got Hip Hop Literacies back there.
I don't think I do.
Look how you did. Look how you did me.
I know. I got it. I'm waiting to get it like signed, so I get it.
That was a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, we're having a lot of different things. We have a brother by the name of DJ O Sharp. He's doing a lot of different activities, because he's really about the culture. Yeah. Not saying that I'm not, but I'm a scholar, and I know my lane. Right. Everybody got their own lanes, Right.
No, but I love it. You're bringing in the practitioners. You know what I mean? That's what we don't see it. We don't see enough of that. Sometimes it's too scholarly. And
that's right. Yeah. And I don't even like scholars that can't talk to the people, because you should be able to talk to people. you know, like
I know.
Malcolm X, they said he could talk to from the White House to the dope house. He
That's
can
right.
talk. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So,
Right. That's right.
but yeah, so many. And I want to just shout out to my co-organizers this year,
Okay.
Dr. Teron Banner.
All right.
He is the director of the Urban Art Space at Ohio State University, and he's a big community organizer.
Mm,
And actually, he actually wrote the grants for this conference.
okay.
That is beautiful. And matter of fact, this is going to be my last year really helping to organize the conference because I got so many things I'm doing. You know, I
Okay.
got the Columbus Women and Girls Fest. I got my
Mm,
Empowering Young Voices Mentoring for the Arts program. I work with young Black girls, and I also work with women and girls in the community through art. You know, doing entrepreneurship, arts,
mm,
empowerment. So it's like I'm only one person,
I
and
understand.
it's time for the other scholars at OSU and in the
Right.
community to keep it going. And I'm so glad that I'm able to pass the torch to the next generation. I'm gonna still be
Right.
there and be on the
Yeah.
scene, you know,
Right.
because I'm trying to stay young and stay around y'all. But but yeah, Dr. Teron Banner, he's beautiful, beautiful brother.
Yeah.
He's in what is it, arts administration at Ohio State.
Okay.
And there's going to be a lot of dope people there.
Yes, indeed.
Uh, Dr. Gloria Wilson, she's also a professor at Ohio State who's a hip hop feminist. And she is moderating in a panel with Mother Nature, who is our featured artist.
That's right. Because there's going to be performances as well. So, of course, you got to get down with the get
Performances,
down. Yep.
workshops. Yeah, they're
Yep.
doing a workshop, a, um, a round table,
Right.
and a performance.
Right. And
So it's
they're focused on sort of like their experiences with the next level program, which is that
right.
overseas fellowship sort of program.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Tony Blackman. You know, Tony
Like I
has been
do.
all around the world
100%.
through being a U.S. ambassador,
Yeah.
diplomat for hip hop. So that's
That's right.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a good program. It's really interesting to find out the perspectives of folks who, do that. It's also very nuanced to be kind of representing the United States, but it's like it's a
I
beautiful.
know.
But I find it to be
I
fascinating. So I'm really
know.
glad to hear when anyone who's been in that program. I know a bunch of folks that have done the next level program, so it's pretty dope. I was very excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the whole lineup. I'm excited that, first of all, I think it's super important because obviously these viewpoints, these perspectives, women, hip hop women from the spectrum of, gender identities and everything, that's so valuable and important because obviously women in general get kind of, in life, but certainly in hip hop, get kind of pigeonholed. You know what I mean? Like put into
Yep.
this is who they
Yep.
are, and
Yep.
obviously
Yep.
the most beautiful people in the world. So and the spectrum is so wide and the perspectives are so deep that we need these sessions, these opportunities to hear.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like, I'm not presenting. That's not my lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to hear, I want to learn, and I want to pick
Me
up.
too.
Yeah, so it's
I
very
learned
valuable.
so much. I learned
Yeah,
so much from the different scholars. I was just at a conference last weekend with some bad sisters.
yeah.
Onika Bennett,
Mm,
and Jillian Hernandez. Those sisters were
okay,
putting it down. You know,
okay.
we did a real nice panel. I talked about my girl, oh my goodness, Angie Stone.
Mm,
You know, because she
yeah,
she she got kind of, people forgot that she was with the sequence, that she
that's
was one of
right.
the early,
She's a pioneer.
women
Yeah,
rappers.
hell
Yeah,
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 absolutely. Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
Roxanne Shante.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like to give respect to them because plus they in my age group too, but
But you did
I
the
gotta
you did
represent
the
the OGs.
but you shouted out Doechii, you shouted out like some of the young G's too. So
I
yeah, that's how it should
did.
be. And the whole spectrum is valuable, and that's
Yeah,
why these things are so great. It's just it's an honor to talk to you. I'm glad that you're able to do other things and pass it on to the new guard. But
yeah.
those things that you're doing in the community, there's no one better. No one better to
Oh,
lead women and girls in the community than you. I know your history,
oh,
and I love you for that. And I
thank you,
appreciate you
brother.
telling me about what's going on. I'll get this right out to the people so that if they still got a chance to register, come through.
Yes.
It's Saturday. It's just Saturday, or is anything happening Friday?
Friday night we got the kickoff. We have a
Okay.
kickoff from 6 to 10 at the Noir No
right.
R.
Okay.
Lounge.
All right.
Yeah, you can have your cocktails and network and whatnot.
Well,
And
I
then
will
all
see you
day
there.
Saturday is the conference. You so silly.
I will see you there.
I have my cranberry juice. I'll be sitting there with y'all with my
That's
cranberry
fine.
juice.
Nothing wrong with that. We'll take it any way we can get it. Anytime with
You
Dr. Good
know?
time.
Oh,
So yeah. So all right. Well, I'll see you. I'll be hitting the roads tomorrow, and I'll be
I'm
getting up
so
there
happy that
and
you
hanging out.
coming.
Yeah, my sister lives nearby, so I figured, I'll do a little quick visit, come over here, do this, and then. But I wanted to come.
Nice.
We got some more work to do, I think, in the future. But this be nice to just cross paths with you and see everything that's going down and just support. And you always have my support, whatever I could do. You need me to carry a box, I'm there. Whatever you need, I'm there.
Oh, thank
All right.
you.
All right, my friend. Anything else? Where can people find you? For some of that community stuff you do. Obviously, we'll have the links to the conference and where you can sign up. But just yourself, all the end of
I
interview
am
things.
the inspirational soul queen on Instagram.
Yes, you are.
Yep. And on Facebook, I'm Dr. DOCTA Ebonics.
Mhm.
Dr.
That's right.
E. Richardson on Facebook.
All right. Affectionately known as Dr. E by those who know. So,
Thank you.
all right. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I'll see you
I
in a couple of
appreciate
days.
you too.
All right.
Manny Faces. You sick for this one. Sick for this one. Sick for this one.